Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're taking a deep dive into something I think we can all relate to, mastering our money. We're cracking open Mastering Your Money, a practical guide to budgeting and saving for Christians.
That's a good one.
And, don't let the title fool you. This book is about way more than just, spreadsheets and numbers.
Right.
It's really about aligning your finances with your values, whatever those may be, to really achieve that lasting financial freedom.
Exactly. And, so many people, they think of budgeting as this restrictive thing. This book really flips that on its head. It's about taking control, making your money work for you.
Yes. And one of the things I loved is how it digs into the psychology of spending, especially for people who want to be generous, but also find themselves kind of wrestling with financial anxiety.
Absolutely, because it's like we can know logically, okay, I should budget, I should save, but then our emotions come in, like that feeling of wanting to give to others, but also that worry, do I have enough for myself?
Right. And that's where the book's insights into like the why behind our spending habits become so valuable.
Yeah.
I caught myself nodding along like furiously when they were talking about these common money scripts.
Oh, tell me about it.
Those deep-seated beliefs we have about money,
Absolutely.
often like formed in childhood even.
Yes, like money is the root of all evil, or I'll never be good with money.
Oh, yeah.
And those scripts can really sabotage our best intentions.
One example that really stuck with me was this story of David. And he grew up believing that talking of money was like taboo,
Wow.
like you just didn't do it. And he ended up carrying that belief into adulthood. And it made it so hard for him to even create a budget, let alone stick to one.
It's amazing how these unspoken beliefs can really hold us back. And the book really argues that recognizing and then challenging those scripts is like a huge step towards achieving that true financial freedom.
It's not just about identifying the negative ones, but it's replacing them with,
Positive.
the positive. Yeah. Like the book suggests focusing on gratitude for what we do have,
Yeah.
even if it doesn't feel like much,
Yeah.
as a way to kind of shift our mindset from that scarcity to abundance.
It's so essential, that shift in perspective, right? Moving away from that place of fear and lack to that place of trust and possibility.
Totally. And I think that's where the book's emphasis on like connecting your finances to your faith comes in.
Yeah.
It's that idea of stewardship, right? Like our finances are part of something bigger.
Yeah.
It's not just about us. It's how we can use them to, to make a difference.
Exactly. And that doesn't always mean like, these grand gestures.
Right.
Sometimes it's just being a good steward of what we have so that we can be more generous in our giving.
Yes.
Even if it's just a few dollars to a cause we care about,
Exactly. And speaking of values, the book really digs into the practical stuff too, like budgeting.
Yes.
But it's not just about like, here's a spreadsheet, stick to it religiously.
Right.
It's about finding a system that works for you and your personality.
Absolutely, because there's no one-size-fits-all approach to budgeting.
Right.
The book talks about, different methods like the envelope system or using budgeting apps.
Yeah.
And they really encourage you to just experiment and find what resonates with you.
That's so important. I remember like trying all these budgeting apps and then feeling like I was failing because I couldn't stick to any of them.
Yeah.
But this book really helped me realize like it's okay to try different things until you find what clicks for you.
Exactly. It's all about finding that sweet spot where
Right.
where practicality meets your personal style.
Yes.
And I think once you find that, the book argues managing your money becomes less about restriction and more about intentionality.
Yes. And that's where the magic happens, right? When you can start directing your money towards the things that truly matter to you.
Yes.
Whether it's, saving for a down payment on a house or paying off debt or
Right.
just having the financial freedom to pursue your passions,
Exactly. It's about taking control of your finances so they don't control you. And they tell this great story in the book about this woman, Maria.
Okay.
And she was trapped in this cycle of credit card debt.
Oh, wow.
And she just felt so overwhelmed. But by creating a budget and coming up with a plan to tackle her debt, she was able to pay it off.
Wow.
And then she could finally start saving for a family vacation, which is something she never thought would be possible.
I love that story. It just shows that no matter where you are in your financial journey, there's always hope.
Absolutely.
There's always room for change and growth.
Absolutely. And the book doesn't it doesn't shy away from the tough stuff either.
Yeah.
Like, they talk about the importance of having those difficult conversations about money
Well,
with
yeah.
your spouse or your partner,
Yeah.
setting financial goals together, making sure you're both on the same page.
Yeah, those conversations can be tough, but the book frames it in such a positive light.
It doesn't have to be an argument.
It doesn't do.
It's not about, pointing fingers about who spent, what it's about,
Right.
working together as a team
Yes.
to achieve your shared financial dreams.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Exactly. It's about communication and compromise and having each other's backs on that journey to financial freedom.
And, even though this book is written for a Christian audience, I think there's just so much valuable advice here for anyone,
Oh, absolutely.
regardless of your faith background.
Right.
Like, I found myself highlighting passages that I was like, ooh, yes.
Totally.
And, I'm not coming from a specifically Christian perspective on my finances, but like that part about identifying your money leaks.
Oh,
Those small, seemingly insignificant expenses that just add up over time.
Absolutely. It's like the classic example of that daily latte.
Yeah.
$5 a day might not seem like much, but you're doing that every weekday. That's over $1,000 a year.
It adds up.
The book really drives home that point, that awareness is key. Once you see where your money's actually going, then you can start making more conscious choices.
It's true. And I love how they give you these like practical tips for plugging those money leaks
Yeah.
without making you feel like you have to live like a monk or something.
Right.
Like instead of saying give up your daily latte, it's like, okay, maybe brew it at home a few times a week instead.
Exactly. Small changes.
Small changes, big impact.
Big impact, and it's refreshing to find a financial guide that emphasizes that balance,
Yeah.
sustainability, rather than like extreme frugality.
Yes.
Which really ties back to the overarching message of the book, right?
Right.
That mastering your money isn't about deprivation.
It's about, yeah.
It's about aligning your spending with your values and your priorities.
Totally. And speaking of priorities, one of the most impactful sections for me was about setting financial goals.
Yeah.
And it goes beyond just like, writing down what you want.
Right.
It actually encourages you to like visualize yourself achieving those goals.
Oh, wow.
They even have this whole exercise where you create a vision board for your finances.
Oh, I love that.
I know, right?
It's like they're tapping into the power of manifestation.
Yes.
And I don't know, I just think there's something really powerful about taking the time to actually visualize what you want your financial future to look like,
Yeah.
It makes it feel more tangible, more achievable.
Yes, totally. And I think that like that sense of possibility is what makes this book so inspiring.
Yes.
It's not just about, like I said, balancing your checkbook.
Yeah.
It's about creating this life of financial freedom
Right.
and abundance where you have the resources to pursue your passions and make a difference in the world.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So for our listeners who are feeling fired up and ready to like master their money, what's one key takeaway they can like walk away with today?
If I had to choose just one, it would be this. Your financial journey is unique to you. There's no right or wrong way to do it as long as you're taking those steps towards, aligning your spending with your values and creating that financial future that feels both meaningful and achievable for you.
I love that. And if you're looking for a practical and inspiring guide to kind of help you on that journey, we highly recommend checking out Mastering Your Money.
It's so good.
It's packed with even more actionable advice, relatable stories, and those thought-provoking insights.
And as you dive into the book and start, putting these principles into practice, I'll leave you with this question.
Okay.
What would financial freedom look like for you? And what steps can you take today to make that vision a reality?
That's something to ponder. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into mastering your money. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing.